Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Again, you see my face. I've been introducing and talking since yesterday and morning today. You've heard from my team. You got introduced to them, KP and Ram, a while back. Day two, yesterday I had a good opportunity to speak with the Chief Digital Officer of Capital Bank of Jordan, and she shared her thoughts around the new bank that we are working with her to launch. Today, and later in the day, I'm going to be speaking about financial inclusion and banking the underbanked, which is part of the keynote presentation that we have made available for you. One of the people that I've enjoyed interacting with throughout this year has been a gentleman who I've come to know and become very fond of in the last several months that we've interacted. And he's with us today. He's the Chief Technology Officer of Centurion Corporation, Mr. Gold. Hi, Mr. Gold. How are you?
Hi, Samier.
Yeah.
So good.
So let me start by speaking a little bit about Centurion Corporation. So Corporation actually owns, develops, and manages quality specialized accommodation. They have assets globally, and they have purpose-built these if you will, dormitories for residences who actually live with them who are migrant workers. And they have these assets spread across different geographies like Singapore and Malaysia, for one. And they're also in the business of purpose-built student accommodations in places like Australia, United Kingdom, United States, and South Korea. So big in the facility space, if you will, not so much identified as a financial services or a financial or fintech, but with Gold, who came in, and joined them as the CTO. He's kind of responsible for all the technology initiatives and the transformation for worker dormitories in Singapore and Malaysia. I think this is the first mandate that he carries to provide to marry technology with the migrant workers here in Singapore and Malaysia. And this is, I guess, phase A of what he's trying to bring about. He actually carries a rich experience both from technology initiatives that he's worked for, and with a good financial services background because of his stint in CIMB Bank and also in SingPost, where he was part of the entire digital transformation journey. Now, Centurion Corp currently owns about nine dormitories across Singapore, have more than, on an average 60,000 plus workers in Singapore, and dormitories in Malaysia as well, where they have about more than 40,000 plus residents. Now, so Gold, good to meet with you again. We've had coffee, we've had meals across, and it's been wonderful, talking about everything that you've done, and really commend you for that. So, being the current CTO of Centurion Corp, what are the digital transformation initiatives that you have started working on, initiated, and have been able to achieve, let's say?
Actually, want to join in as a CTO and Centurion Corporation. This is new industry for me compared to my previous
Right,
industries. So
right.
here we initiated a lot of IoTs and we did a lot of POC that how the dormitory service we can make it automated and how we can improve our legacy system into the new innovative and new now the technology is moved to the next level. So that's why we introduced a lot of new architecture, new kind of new systems we introduced.
Hmm.
Plus, other than one of the main factor for the dormitory is the securities. So we
Correct.
implemented our own security system with COVID supportive face recognition systems and other security system we implemented in our state dormitory. Other than, and we implemented more mobile application to monitoring purpose as well as dormitory management to track the residents information, as well as our system all are connected to the other government parties. So this is a very important one because now the COVID, we need to send these all the information to our all common parties as for checking, checkout, and safe entry information. So that
Right.
last 2 years we did a lot of innovatives. So
I
this
can
is why
imagine.
these yeah, this dormitory industry is different from other our industries, and for
Correct.
me is a very new.
True, true. For a person who's worked with banks and an organization like SingPost, this is indeed, and we've had these conversations, you and I, in terms of how different it is. But you also shared that how it's become like a place where you can come up with so many ideas because it's so different, and that's the whole excitement about how you've been able to bring your knowledge from other experiences that you've had, and how you're trying to bring that big change around, which otherwise would not have been possible. Really, I think from that perspective,
Yes, sir.
those changes wouldn't have happened at all, right? So, we've had, I know you, so I think for the audience, I've spent a lot of time with goals, so we've spoken about different things, and that brings me to the next question. Would you like to talk about MyMA app? What are its current services and how it is helping the foreign worker community? Gold. I mean, I know this, but for the audience, they would love to hear about this. Yes.
Yeah, MyMA mainly we created for foreign workers industries.
Right.
We focus full on foreign workers, how we can move digital how we can transfer the our foreign workers into the next levels.
Right.
So this MyMA means my mobile application for foreign workers. So
Right.
our application mainly we are focusing on the foreign worker necessary functionality like a digital, financial sector plus as well as dormitory service information also. So the financial sectors we are focusing on what are the necessary service that we can provide to my foreign workers who staying in Westlake dormitory. Plus we are also focusing outside Westlake also. So financial sector like we are focused on the wallet services because
Mm.
still many people they don't have a bank account. So
Right.
we are giving e-wallet services. The people they can load their amount and they can send the money to their overseas country also. Plus, after that, we realized a lot of what are the other services we can give. So the people necessary top up services, then remit and microfinance also we are working with our
Right.
partners.
Right.
Plus, what are the what are the services social or some dormitory services that we can provide. So this MyMA application integrated with our dormitory management systems. So we are giving access system people who can scan and enter into the room. This one will
Right.
help to segregate dormitory for the COVID situations.
Correct.
Plus, we introduced other prepaid card system also, how we can go for a cashless dormitory for the slide. So this one also slowly we are implementing and we are moved to one by one for our all the slide dormitories.
Wonderful. I mean, it's incredible how you have been able to, accelerate all this in such good speed. Specifically because after COVID, this has become such an important thing, right? I mean, I know that just when COVID hit, there were so many things around dormitories, and I can imagine how I remember having a conversation where you were saying that you had to make sure that things had to be done, but also at a pace, so that it would then be identified, and the government was trying to do so many things and they didn't have to be replicated. But from that perspective, do you face challenges in promoting MyMA to like foreign workers? Mainly like from a perspective of how many foreign workers who are residing in dormitories are actually currently using MyMA?
Actually, definitely, everyone they face a problem when they introduce their own system into the public.
Correct.
But my industry is something different from the public industry. My
Right.
industry people who are not a techie guys to understand
Right.
the mobile app.
Right. Right.
So usually we face a lot of problem to introduce with my workers, my resident, not workers,
Hmm.
my resident. Okay.
Right.
So the reason is my resident from different nationalities. So the people, everyone cannot understand the English.
Correct.
So and even though if you then that situation we introduced a different language. Our apps will support
Mm.
different languages also. Even
Mm.
though we face some problem because to teach to them is very difficult. So we arrange some more customer service people, and we arrange a lot of coaches to explain to them how we can use this app and what are the functionality and how you can send the money using this app, simple app, instead of using cash or instead of giving in the remittance providers.
Correct. Remittance.
So yes, it really took long times and slowly we promote, slowly we teach to them. Now many residents they are familiar with our applications. Yeah, example, even if you go for any e-commerce system, initially the people will start, but once they started to use, once started to buy a product, then they will get
Correct.
a familiar of this product. So same model also we are also trying to push other e-commerce product with
Mm.
attractive one and
Mm.
the people who want more buy from online. So then once the people familiar, then they have started to use our application, MyMA application in our country.
Correct, correct. And this is interesting because I've been living in Singapore, which I've shared with the audience, nearly 21 years now. And what I did, the difference that I notice is that on weekends, especially on Sundays, where migrant workers actually get an off, there was so much of traffic or so many people and you said they come from different countries, so they have their spots where they congregate, right? And the challenge would have been that with COVID, you wouldn't be able to do that. So you have to make sure that MyMA is an application so easy to use that they can actually buy whatever they need. So their e-commerce needs also would be different, probably. It would, it would be some things that they buy from regular shops, but it has to be made available. And I think that it's doing very good. Hmm.
This COVID also we integrated with our local mini mart system that how
Right.
we can make cashless payment. Now the
Correct.
yeah. So that situation we got a lot of opportunity how we can integrate all our shops on cashless payment.
Right. Right.
Yes.
No, brilliant, brilliant. So, just to help our viewers understand, what are some of the current digital initiatives for MyMA or on MyMA that you're considering,
Actually,
given.
we wanted to make this app as a super application, including the financial inclusions plans.
Right.
From PNPL, which we can benefit foreign workers to buy gazettes and the installment plans. Food
Right.
ordering services also integrate to movie and the live TV channels. So entertainment sites. Like that, we improved a lot of services inside our MyMa application.
Right.
Most important is to enable and integrate the foreign remittance with the social payment, which
Correct.
which I think that will be a great blessing for our people during this pandemic time.
Right.
Making bank as a service MyMA where they can check their balance, send money, track and transfer anywhere and anytime using the mobile applications.
Correct. Correct. Indeed.
This is
Indeed. Hmm.
uh,
Go on. Go on.
okay. No, this is an initiative
Right. Right.
we
Okay.
are
No,
management we
this
can
is
manage well.
yeah, it's brilliant because I don't think that from it's very rare to see and be identified and be recognized in the marketplace to because these kind of things go unnoticed. For one, is that not the mass market, in Singapore or any country for that matter, would be aware about an initiative like this because this is MyMa is so focused to your uh, resident dormitory workers as well as foreign workers, so to speak. So it goes unnoticed, and I really wanted to make a point and make a point to the audience at large that this is such a fantastic initiative that you're driving. So in that, you are doing so much in Singapore. Are you planning to replicate MyMA, in any other APAC countries, like for example, Malaysia, maybe, where you have dormitory presence? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Actually, originally we planned to move to Malaysia in 2021
Mm,
but
mm,
because of this pandemic. I will full focus on the Singapore and initiate a lot of digital services. So the
right.
same services we are planning to move to Malaysia because Malaysia we have dormitory and we have a resident. So maybe 2022 first or second quarters we are moving the same features of my mom with the Malaysia.
Absolutely, absolutely, and as you know, I'm always there to help you through that journey. Now, from a future technology initiatives and your vision for MyMA, how would you, what would you like to share on that? Your thoughts on that? I mean, you already said so many things about of what you're doing, but how does the future look like? I mean, I know 2022 will be Malaysia, so is it just regional expansion, or but from a technology perspective, what would that be?
Actually, our objective is we need to create a cashless society and cashless payment digital dormitory. That's our objective. We need to create a cashless society or digital dormitory services in Singapore and Malaysia. The people no need to go to physically. They can buy order anything through my
Right,
application, even the outside the shop, food catering services, mini-mart, e-commerce services, remittance services, etc., etc. And now we are introducing my resident they can top up to their family from here, and they
correct.
can pay some bills, necessary bills from Singapore to India. So this kind of cashless services we are creating for them and integrating on the social media platform and WhatsApp payment, which will
Right.
be all in one touch services for them.
Right. So of course that's given. Digibank SocialPay will probably help you, to be successful in the journey. But really, I mean, I don't need to ask you how will it help, because I know you have. We started our discussion because you had said that, wow, really a this is really something that would meet your the vision that you had, and suddenly we came with this product. It just kind of fit in so well. But interesting, I think having wallets made available to migrant workers, because it's obviously in Singapore, uh, they can, they do have an option, and I'm sure that while they're onboarded, they can open bank accounts. But for you to think that let's have a wallet, because they can't, then they'll be able to move money. Let's help them move money to their relatives in the countries of their origin. Let us help them to avail a small loan, as in a buy now pay later, so that they can buy let's say equipment for their families back home. Let's help them to because everybody uses the phone in any case, right? So, and most of them have their prepaid numbers, so let's help them top up their numbers. Let's help them make payments at merchants. I mean, I am just really so impressed uh, with the vision that you have. And I guess to the audience, I mean, I just wanted to share my thought that one of the things that appealed to me, just as a person, this is not, I'm not speaking as a managing director of Codebase Technologies here in Singapore. I'm just speaking like as Samier Khan. One of the things that kind of drew me to Gold as an individual has been that I've been very passionate about financial inclusion, which I'm going to talk later in the day. But more than that, because I'm so passionate about it, and because Gold already, when we had a couple of meals when we met for the first time, and we started talking, and he had these same ideas. I had the technology, probably because I'm working with Codebase, but he had this ready marketplace, and he had this vision that I need to bring this, and he's already doing that in many ways. So MyMA is quite proven in itself. So wonderful, Gold. It was lovely talking with you, and I think we're going to continue talking. So what I'm going to do is, this was just for the purpose of Singapore FinTech Festival. So thank you, first of all, for accepting the invite and wanting to talk to me here. We will have another conversation on Disruption Demystified, which is, as you know, I've spoken to you about it. It's the podcast that is brought to you by Code-Based Technologies, which I chair, and I'm the host and the speaker on it. So I'd love to take some of our conversations there. I guess it is a good way to also help people understand what you're doing, and also to the migrant workers at large. And I'm always there to help you propagate that message to them. We can always run workshops and make people help them to be able to use application, the MyMA application, and anything around financial services, which will be such a good thing. So thanks for the conversation, Gold. I wish you all the best. But at the same time, it's funny, while I'm interviewing you now, I have to be formal, but otherwise, we talk as good friends. But it's so good to know you, and it's so good to share thoughts with a person like Gold, who has such passionate visions for the migrant worker community, a community that he didn't. I guess it was just because of this job that you got into this community at large. But I also know that you have this vision about India, and since you come from there, and about how do you want to bring about change in the, especially from a financial inclusion perspective. So wonderful talking to you. We will continue to speak, and I'll have you on the show as well. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Samir.